I did a 48-day non-stop Devi Upasana. When I tell you that it changed me inside out, I'm not exaggerating. In Devi Upasana, you essentially dedicate your entire heart, soul, and self to the Divine Mother. And you commit to praying to her, connecting to her, and getting as close as possible to her as you can. I'm going to take you behind the scenes of my 48-day Devi Upasana. The ups, the downs, the lows, the highs, the intense spiritual experiences, and also showing you the 3 forms of Devi Ma that I prayed to during the Upasana, as well as the exact sadhana that I did for each different form. Let's do this. In a million years, I never would have imagined that I would be doing a Devi Upasana, let alone doing a Devi Upasana to the point where I fall in love with the Divine Mother. Look at how I'm smiling. During my India trip in 2023, where I had the most intense, electrifying, personal experiences with Kali Amma. And it started in a very specific Kali Kambar Kovil or temple in Chennai, the city that I was born. I was really scared. I've followed Krishna and Advaita my entire life. Why am I suddenly being called to Devi Amma? This is too overwhelming. I'm just going to ignore this. I don't think I would have approached Devi Amma if it hadn't been for Krishna, my Ishta Devata, starting that process. Because after I came back from India and that intense trip, after all those experiences with Kali Amma, I started doing Krishna Upasana.
He made my heart really pure. I literally lost so many lower level frequencies within me.
But as I went further and further into Krishna Upasana, in my gut, in my heart, in my soul, in my intuition, I knew that I was being prepared for something else. So I did around 41 days of Krishna Upasana, after which I immediately was moved into Kala Bhairav Upasana for about 43 days. I had never particularly been very devoted to Shiva. I had never approached an Ugra Devata like this before. It was all happening rapidly and it was all happening poetically, as if it was planned by a higher power. You can actually go watch my entire Kala Bhairav series over here. And once I completed Kala Bhairav Upasana, I knew why all of these upasanas were happening. It was to prepare me for the Divine Mother, for Amma. I couldn't say no to her anymore. I knew it was time. And the moment I decided that, it was like I handed over my entire life to the Divine Mother. And she took control immediately. Within about 2 weeks, a series of unexpected events took place. And I was forced to leave my home and fly overseas where I would be completely alone. I opened the dashboard of my car as we were heading to the airport, and I found a photo of some form of the Divine Mother in there. And I looked at that photo and I couldn't recognize who that Divine Mother was. So I kept the photo safely with me. I kept it in my puja area for the entire period of the Upasana. It wasn't until the last 20 days of the Upasana that I realized who that Devi Amma was. I'll tell you more about this later. And as I got on that plane to go overseas, I knew in my gut and heart that Devi Amma was saying, you can't do this Upasana surrounded by friends and family. Amrita, you are mine now. And so Amma took me to Malaysia. And I ended up in this Mariamma Kovil.
I went in and I stood in front of Devi and I felt this lightning surge of energy, and I'm feeling it right now, just like strike through my body over and over and over and over again. So it has begun. Day 1 Upasana has begun.
And the moment I stepped into that Mariamman Kovil, the energy was so intense. I completely gave myself over to Amma, and I asked Amma, what do you want from me? How long should I do this Upasana? The intuition came. 48 days. And around the same day, she led me to a puja store where I found kungumam, where I found this orange thread that I tied around my neck for every day during the Upasana. Basically, she gave me everything that I needed in order to do the Upasana successfully. So in the next section, we're going to learn about the first 9 days of my Devi Upasana, which I did across Malaysia and Vietnam. And these 9 days single-handedly altered my destiny, altered who I am at a cellular level. So let's talk about the first form of Devi who entered my life during the 48-day Upasana.
I feel like such a healing is taking place, and it feels like I'm not here. The closest thing I can think of is lucid dreaming. I don't know where I'm going to be at the end of 48 days. If this is day 7, I don't know what, I just have to surrender. That mantra is so powerful. I could literally feel heat come off my scalp. For me to stand in front of Devi and say I love you, like a really big deal for me. Oh my God. I disappeared. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Oneness.
Kali Amma. Oh, the mother of all of it, the supreme reality. Out of all of the forms of Devi Amma that I prayed to during my Upasana, Kali Amma's form is the most intense, the most rapid in terms of taking you to the edge of reality, to realization. When Kali Amma enters your life, you do not have control or choice or say in your life anymore. Kali Amma decides everything. I remember the first 3 days were so intense. Like, after I did the sadhana each night, I would be lost for words. I would be like, whoa, like what? Who am I? Where am I? Like, completely overwhelmed by her energy. But by the 4th and 5th and 6th day, I was really learning to stabilize myself so I could hold her energy. So let me tell you exactly how I did the sadhana for her. When I sat in front of Kali Amma each evening, I would approach her around sunset or maybe an hour after sunset. I actually had a photo of Durga Ma in my traveling mandir. I would offer her a flower, and then I would take my japa mala and I would do 108 recitations of the following mantra. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali, Bhadrakali Kapalini, Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri, Swaha Svadha Namostute. I've now verified this, and you don't need to be initiated by a guru in order to say this particular mantra. But this is no ordinary mantra. Kali Amma is so powerful that you need to do the preparation work that I told you about earlier in order to even use this mantra in the form of sadhana. So I would do 108 times of Jayanti Mangala Kali. After that, I just sat in meditation with Kali Amma and I would listen to the song Shri Chakra Raja Simhasaneshwari. I didn't even know what that song meant, but I would just listen to that song because I knew that it created such a strong emotional bond between me and Amma. And often that's when I would truly lose myself in bhakti and devotion towards Amma.
If you've ever been to Mylapore, There's a Kabalishwar Kovil there. There's a Parvati Murti in that Kovil. She's like the ultimate mother. And all I was doing was listening to a rendition of Sri Chakra Raja Simhasaneshwari. It was the final verse. And I was just thinking about that Murti, that Parvati Murti. And I just went to the Murti and hugged her and called her Amma. And in that moment, I thought I was gonna leave my body.
These were the highest states of bliss, devotion, and oneness that I experienced. They happened during this period of time when I would listen to the song after I did the chanting for Kali Amma. It was during my Upasana of Kali Amma that I felt the most intense state of samadhi that I've ever experienced in my entire life. I don't have words when I think about that. I'm speechless when I think about where Kali Amma can take you. This process would maybe take me about an hour to a maximum of 2 hours every single day. And I would then go straight to sleep, maybe journal a little bit about what I was feeling. By the time I woke up the next morning, I would suddenly be aware of all sorts of memories, traumas, karmas, pains coming up to the surface.
So I got up and the first thing I heard was, I hate myself. And these are the sorts of thought patterns and feelings and energies that I've been struggling with deep down since I was a kid, since I was very young. This is the stuff that I tend to run away from by using my material achievements to pretend that everything's okay. But with Devi, once that lightning bolt energy goes through you, everything is going to come to the surface.
I really couldn't do much else during the day. I basically was processing everything that had come up during my nighttime sadhana. There was maybe 3 hours a day where I could be productive. I would visit temples if possible. I would listen to talks about Devi Amma. Really, Upasana is an obsession. It's an obsession. You really need to give yourself up to her for that entire period of time. And especially during these 9 days of Kali Amma, oh my God, the energy is just so intense within you. It's almost like the simulation just starts glitching all around you because you're holding so much energy and power and electricity. So it makes sense to just use the daytimes to relax and process, and the night times to do your intense sadhana. And so around day 8, I really wanted to give up the entire Upasana. I just could not handle all of the truths that Kali Amma was forcing me to face. And this is where, in Kali Sadhana, it's the courageous who have their biggest breakthroughs. In the lowest of my low moment, I looked at Kali Amma and I said, I'm not giving up this sadhana. You do whatever you want to me. But I'm finishing this sadhana for you. So whatever you're bringing up for me, whatever you're showing me during this time, it feels unbearable, but I'm gonna let you take me through it. And she did. All the rage and all the words that I needed to get out of my system, I threw it at Amma. I threw it at Kali Amma. And she is the goddess of the universe. She just absorbed it. And the more I threw that rage and the hate and the venom at her, she just absorbed it. She just absorbed it. She just absorbed it and she transmuted it. She transmuted it. So I was on my bed wailing and yelling and just taking all of that rage out and throwing it at Kali Amma. And she was drinking it up like blood. She was literally drinking it up like blood. That night, I felt like I was purged of some of the most entrenched karmas of my entire life. And
it's day 10 and I am still here doing this Upasana and I'm so proud of myself. I didn't give up. You know, I'm just gonna say this. The best thing about me is my grit. And when it comes to spiritual commitments like this or spiritual work like this, I said I was gonna do 48 days. I'm gonna do 48 days.
That is the power of Kali Amma. I made a post about this earlier. She's not just some tarot card deity. She's the mother of the universe. And I could only hold her energy for 9 days. I awoke the next day as almost like a completely new person, like a completely fresh new vibe and life, and everything just felt beautiful the next day. But when I sat down to go do Kali Sadhana that night, automatically my hand flew away from the japa mala, and I received the intuition, enough for now. We're going to move on to the next phase of your upasana.
It's all love, all beauty, all healing from here. Oh my God. This is so pretty.
The second form of Devi Ma who stepped into my life was Durga Ma. There is a very clear reason why she stepped in right after Kali Ma. A lot of that negative, dense energy within me had been cleared out during that process. And now there was just an openness, a sense of possibility that existed within me. Durga Ma, when she stepped into my life, she came with the Argala Stotram. Now, I have made an entire banger video about this, what it's about, where it came from, why do we chant it, what is its purpose in your life. It felt like the theme was a sense of possibility. Like we've healed through so much. Now, let's rebuild. Let's rebuild. Let's rebuild.
Something that keeps coming up for me is my relationship with wealth, allowing myself to be in a position of power, strength, wealth, so that we can become the decision makers in the world.
For the second phase, I chanted the Argala Stotram every night, 3 times. I would come home in the evenings, I would sit with Durga Ma. By this point, I was in Vietnam, so I had access to a fresh flower market for like $2 every day, and then I would just give my gods and goddesses all the flowers, give them all the flowers. And so I gave Durga Ma flowers every day. I would sit with her in the evenings, light a diya, and then I would chant the Argala Stotram very slowly, intentionally, really feeling every single word.
It should come from your heart and gut and soul, like that's the last word you're ever gonna say to God or out loud. And I started chanting it in that way over the last few days, and today I've noticed like it has started to take on an energy of its own. And as I was sitting there chanting it today, it legitimately felt like I was recoding my DNA. That is what it felt like. It is so powerful.
She was almost reshaping the foundation of my being. I had spent most of my spiritual career feeling like material desires need to be minimized. But the truth is that I do want the fame, I do want the riches, right? I want these things in order to be the person who can fulfill my vision. And I was pretending like I didn't have these desires. Something really empowering about Devi Sadhana is that Amma is just literally there being like, child, you are here, you need these things in order to fully live out your human experience. Ask me for them, and I will give it to you. Ask the Divine Mother for abundance. The Divine Mother is abundance. The Divine Mother is all of nature. She is abundance, abundance, abundance. She's prosperity, wealth, fame, leadership. She's a healthy relationship with all of these things. She is both Maya and reality.
I just signed up for gym classes like kickboxing, proper gym. This is the first time where I've actually consciously decided this body is worth caring for. This body is worth loving, and it is worth my time to invest into strengthening this body. And this has everything to do with Devi Upasana from a place of care, from a place of gratitude. So nothing can stop me. And as I've been doing the Upasana, I am shaking, I am like twitching. That's the way that our physical body releases trauma. And once it processes through, it is done. It is over. The last 4 days have been deep release of archaic, ancient pains and wounds. In the conscious world, as I wake up and I come into this reality, I'm noticing, like I'm stronger now. I feel amazing. I feel really amazing. This is spirituality, right? Don't let anyone tell you, oh, this is so esoteric. Do it when you're 60. No, you do it now. Do it now so you can show up every day a better person, a happier person, a more empowered person, someone who is ready to go shift the world just by shifting who you are on the inside.
There was just this energy that started to glow within me inside out that was making me very attractive. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I mean that in the sense that it was almost like this divine feminine energy just started radiating out of me. Like I was glowing.
This morning, I was about to be my usual slob. I'm just going to go get coffee. I don't need makeup. I don't need jewelry. I don't need to wear anything pretty. I was literally gonna go out, look at my skin, what is happening to me. But this version of Devi, she does not let me drop my standards. So she was like, I'm sorry. We're leaving the house looking like that. Go in there and clean up. Not just clean up, dress up like a king. I'm wearing like one of my nicest favorite shirts, satin shirts, very luxurious. Put on a little bit of makeup and lipstick, and then I put a bindi on today. And I have never seen beauty like this radiate from me before. You can probably see it. My skin is glowing. It's not my beauty. It's her shining on me, and you can see it. I've never seen a physical form change so much during Upasana, and it's so amazing. Like something has completely changed. Something is shining within me, and this is wild.
We can't keep lying to ourselves that we don't want power when it is power that is going to help us to fulfill our dharma and to stand for dharma on this planet. And so a lot of really deep shifts were happening to me during these 21 days because of the Argala Stotram and because of Durga Ma and the connection that I was building with Durga Ma and with my own material desires. I felt so much more centered. I felt so much more powerful. I felt so much more capable. I felt so much more wealthy. I felt so much more abundant. I felt this calm, feminine, queen type vibe within me. Like, I know I can do this. I know I can have this. I know who I am. I'm a queen. That's the vibe. Obviously, this goes much deeper than just material shifts and material desires. But for me, the lesson was around material desires. So Devi Ma really gave me permission to step into my divine feminine power as a woman. Ooh, so good, so powerful. I then moved and flowed into the final phase of my Devi Upasana, where I met the form of Amma who I am still praying to right now, still doing sadhana for right now, still hopelessly falling in love with right now, still trying to understand to this day. Can you name one other thing that you can do that takes 1 month that revolutionizes your entire life? That literally transforms you beyond recognition. In the space of 1 month, this has happened? Who is this girl? I haven't seen this girl for a very long time. As I wrapped up 21 days doing Argala Stotram, I still had about 20 days left in the Upasana, and I felt again intuitively guided and a strong sense of magnetic pull towards the Kanchi Kamakshi Amma. I've seen my elders pray to Kanchi Mahaperiva. I have seen images of Kanchi Kamakshi Amma before. Like, I knew of her, but I didn't know who she was. I will be completely honest in that I still haven't fully understood who Kanchi Kamakshi Amma is. This form of Amma for me is beyond my level of comprehension right now. I am taking baby steps to get closer and closer to her. I find her to be the most powerful goddess I have ever encountered in my entire life. I find her breathtaking. I find her rich beyond rich, wealthy beyond wealthy, famous beyond famous, beyond everything. She is so intensely soaked in riches and glory and beauty that she transcends all of that. Tripura Sundari, the most beautiful out of the three worlds. She's bringing out parts of me that I didn't even know existed. She's challenging me in ways that I need to be challenged, and she is giving me divine motherly permission to be a version of me that I again could never have comprehended. She's still a mystery to me, a beautiful, breathtaking mystery. But as you can probably tell, I am entranced by her. I am intoxicated.
After 41 days of Upasana, this is me. This is the happiest, I don't have words. This is me. This is me. This is the woman that I had never allowed myself to be. And
when I was led into the world of Kanchi Kamakshi Amma, the first thing that I started to do was to teach myself the Lalita Sahasranama. I used the Sanskrit channel. So the Lalita Sahasranama is 1,000 names of the Divine Mother. Learning and reciting the Lalita Sahasranama every day. This took me perhaps about an hour to an hour and a half initially, because I really wanted to learn the words perfectly and beautifully. And it took me some time to figure out how to say the really long names that were really challenging, but I did get there. And towards the end of the Upasana, I was able to chant the Lalita Sahasranamam beautifully every single night. During this final phase of the Upasana, a couple of realizations came to me. Do you guys remember that photo of the Devi that I found in the dashboard of my car as I was leaving home to head to Malaysia to begin Devi Upasana? I didn't know who that Devi Ma was back then. But during this third phase of the Upasana, my eyes fell on that photo of Amma, and I realized it was Lalita Tripura Sundari this entire time. And the second realization I had was that song, Shri Chakra Raja Simhasan Ishwari, a song that I had heard elders in my family sing before, but I never associated it with anyone. Shri Chakra Raja Simhasan Ishwari, Shri Lalitambigaye Bhuvaneshwari. It was all for her. And so this actually brings us to where I am right now. My love for Devi Ma extended beyond the 48 days. I still kept on doing sadhana for Devi Amma until eventually she brought me back to the motherland, to Tamil Nadu, the state that I was born in. I revisited the Kali Kovil in Chennai, the one that I entered 2 years ago and had all of those intense experiences with Kali Amma. I went back to her and I said, thank you. Thank you for bringing me home. And potentially the most incredible thing that happened on this trip, several months after I finished the 48-day Upasana, was that I had the lifetime blessing to be able to travel solo to Kanchipuram and actually see Kanchi Kamakshi Amma. And I have no words to describe that moment of when I saw her. She, the most, like, it would be nice if I could speak, but it all culminated in this. Reconnecting to Kanchi Kamakshi Amma, a form of Amma that my entire lineage has prayed to for so many generations. So many things happened during that Kanchipuram trip. And so many things happened even as I completed this 48-day Upasana with Kanchi Kamakshi Amma at the center of my heart. By the end of the Upasana, I had completely transformed, inside out. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Amrita. I was born in Chennai and I grew up in Australia, and then I moved to the US in my 20s. I've been passionate about spirituality and Hinduism since I was a kid, and it was about time that I started a channel like this. If you'd like to see more videos like this every single week, taking you behind the scenes of sadhana, upasana, spiritual practices, philosophical discussions, Hinduism 101, then hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be coming to you every week from now on.